All right, back on the morning drive, 71 degrees outside. Your weather forecast this hour brought to you by Waller Heating and Air. Mostly cloudy skies. Now they say the chance of rain between 11 a.m. and noon is about 60%, so we're likely going to get some showers around lunchtime, so be prepared for that. If you're traveling around for lunch, carry that umbrella with you. And your high today going to get up to about 85 degrees, so be ready for that. And, again, some possible rain around lunchtime, so take that umbrella with you. Make it handy. This interview brought to you by Kelly Lovett and Blakey. Again, bankruptcyga.com is the website. You can go check them out there. 242-8838. They provide experienced, supportive counsel to help clients through the process of filing bankruptcy. So we appreciate the fine folks at Kelly Lovett and Blakely for providing that service. And joining us in the studio this morning, candidate for one of the new super county commission districts, and John Gates is here with us. John, good morning. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. How about yourself, Chris?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us this morning. You are one of the busiest folks that I know, so I appreciate any time that you give us. Of course, most folks know John from his involvement, with several areas, the Humane Society and also Toys for Tots, which is full-blown right now, getting started for another, hopefully, great year.
Yeah, we really want to make this a bigger year. We only did 43,000 children last year in the 9 counties that I cover. I am down now only to 7 counties, so I gave up a couple counties. I got a good coordinator to take my place, and she's doing a great job. But we're full-blown. And I will ask the audience if you plan on having either a company party or a private party to include the Toys for Tots. Ask them to bring an unwrapped toy. And you can call me at my office at 247-3266, or you can call me on 244-9064, and I'll be more than glad to meet with you, get you a box, whatever you need, and also pick the toys up wherever I need to pick them up.
Yeah. Well, you and your wife have been doing that for years and do a fantastic job with that. 43,000 sounds like a lot, and that is a lot of kids who otherwise might not have a Christmas other than Toys for Tots, but that number's actually down pretty dramatically from a few years back.
Yes, in 2008 we did over 82,321 children.
Wow.
in 9 counties, and so the kids are really out there. They really do need help, and we don't want a child to go without Christmas.
Absolutely.
And if there's any way to prevent that, we will try to do that. This is my 19th year doing it, 9th year here in Lowndes County as a coordinator.
Wow. Great work by you and your wife on that, because I know it's pretty much a 2-person show, so that's a lot to coordinate.
It is.
Talking about the race, John, of course, you went through the primary. You had competition there. Congratulations on getting the win, moving on to the general election coming up in just 34 days. And, again, I know you go out and you talk to a lot of people.
I do.
And you hear a lot of different things. What are some of the big issues that people feel like are most pressing right now?
Our big issues are the fire department. We have no full-time fire department in Lowndes County. Mm-hmm. I heard that there was a house that had burned down. It took 20 minutes to get a response. And part of the problem is I understand mutual aid, and the Moody Air Force Base is willing to give us mutual aid. And, of course, the city comes out, but it takes them a while to get everything together and get it out there, get all that equipment. Our volunteers in Lowndes County, firefighters, are outstanding.
Yeah.
But also it takes time to get to the fire station, get the equipment, get it out to a fire. Mm-hmm. And so we need to do a better job on that. Taxpayers pay their tax money. They want that service. They deserve that service. I know I want that service. Mm-hmm. So if I want it and I'm hearing other people's, then it's a priority.
20 minutes can mean everything when you're talking about fire. Yeah.
I mean, 20 minutes, that's your life. Your whole life is going up in a flame.
Yeah, yeah. That's now, and I don't know that we've ever had, John, a full-time county fire department.
I don't believe we have.
Yeah.
And I could be mistaken, but as far as from what I understand and from what I've talked to people, nobody knows that we've ever had a full-time fire department. But we do need it. The outer surrounding area of the city is starting to grow so large.
Right.
And more people, more housing. So we got to cover those. Mm-hmm. And the only way we can do that is with a full-time fire department. Also, our sheriff's department are being paid actually less than the city police department. We need to kind of make that balance a little better. And again, that's something that we deserve to have the very best. And if you got the very best, and they look at the sheriff's department versus the city, and they say, hey, I'm going to work for the city. I make more money. We're all about trying to make the best dollar we can.
Again, John is running for the new Super District 4, which covers about half the county population-wise, a little bit less than a half, I think, geographically. But still, it's and again, it's that new setup, which I try to explain it each time we talk about it. You will still have, county residents will still have one of your 3 commissioners, but now you'll have also one of 2 super commissioners. John Page was elected as the new commissioner for Super District 5, and then John Gates will be running for the Super District 4 seat against the DeMarcus Marshall in the upcoming general election. You mentioned trash as well. That's another big item that's been out there.
Yeah, and we do need to look at that hard, and we have a total of 6. And I propose that we take the 3 smallest areas and kind of eliminate those, and maybe expand the 3 that we have, the larger ones, and leave those open. If we close every one of them, we're going to be in a major problem, because we're going to spend more money and more manpower going out picking up the stuff on the side of the road.
And that's people are going to leave it there.
Exactly.
No, they will.
I mean, that's just, and then farmers, they're going to wind up with refrigerators and stoves and everything else out there in their fields.
Yeah.
And we don't want that.
No, you can't have that. So there's got to be some other option there.
Right.
So.
And the best thing is leave these big 3 open.
Right.
And let the people come to those.
Yeah. What are some of the other things that you hear or that you would like to see done at the county commission level?
I like to see some more better roads. Our infrastructure really needs to be top notch. If we're going to draw businesses in, we've got to have better roads. Also, the animal shelter out there. I know that's a sore subject in a lot of people's minds. They don't like going out there. They think it's a death chamber. And the appearance of it when you walk in is not, it could be much better. The building basically was built by experimental blocks, and it has totally fallen apart. We have rats that have bored all the way through and made runs through the wall. And so I think we need to do something with that and find a way to repair that and make it more eye-appeasing. And also the odors out there sometimes are such that it's nauseous.
Not good.
So therefore we do need to take care of our animals in this county. And let me say this, everybody thinks about the number of animals that are being put down. They don't realize, but we have a whole lot of animals coming from outside this county. We also take in animals from the surrounding counties.
Okay.
And to give a little bit of statistics, one female cat and her offspring in 7 short years can reproduce 420,000 kittens. One female dog and her offspring in 6 years can reproduce 96,000 puppies. So spade and neuter's the way to go. Let's cut down the overpopulation. That's the reason why you see so many feral animals.
Yeah.
And it's against the law to discard an animal on the side of the road.
As it should be.
And, and if you get caught, you can be prosecuted. You will be prosecuted, because that's like throwing the old adage, throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right. Yeah.
Well, basically, it's the same thing with an animal. Please don't do it.
Of course, John Gates is also the director of the Humane Society, so
Yes,
this is obviously something you deal with on a daily basis, and see a lot of stuff like that. So, as you get closer now to the end of the campaign, John, I know you're still trying to talk to as many people as possible. What's the main message that you want to get out? Why should people trust you with their vote on November the 6th?
I have proven myself to be a strong volunteer, a strong advocate for children and adults. Literacy, I just gave 23,000 books of scholastic books to Valdosta City and Valdosta, our Lowndes County school system. So therefore, I believe I have proven myself by going out there and working for the people, and never ask for anything in return, and still do not ask for anything other than give me a chance, vote for me on November 6th, and let John Gates be your voice, your vote.
And I think that you're, and I will say, and of course we don't make endorsements here, but I certainly believe that you're many years. And like I said, you've been doing the Toys for Tots for what, 19?
19 years.
You've done a lot in this community, for the betterment of the community, whether it's for kids or for animals and even crazy adults as well. So I know kids and animals are your passion sometimes, but
Right.
but I mean there is a lot that you take on, and whenever you see a need, you kind of jump right in and say, okay, how can we fix it?
I'm also on the post executive committee for American Legion Post 13 here in Valdosta, and I also help veterans with paperwork to try to make sure that they got everything in line to put their claims in and get them to the right people to ensure that it's speeding to get that claim through, because a lot of people need that their stuff done quickly.
That's important because that can be a quirky process.
Oh, it is. It can be. Not only that, but there's a lot of steps that if a person's homeless, they can get it done quicker by an expeditious way, and these service officers know that. So that's another thing. Homeless vets, they can get their paperwork through. We're out there to service the veteran. We're out there to service children and the community in general.
Sure. The again, John running for the Super District 4 on the County Commission. He'll be on the ballot on November the 6th. And I've heard from just about every candidate, John, that I've spoken with. I don't know what the deal is with signs, and I know it's almost a must that you have to have some, it seems. But we have had more signs missing. It seems like that's always a bit of an issue, but it seems like this go around it's been a bigger issue.
It is, and there's. I've talked to some of the candidates last night. As a matter of fact, my opponent, and he's lost signs too. And it appears to be, I don't know if it's something that attracts people to these political signs. They don't like politics or something, so they just decide, well, we're going to tear them up and throw them away. Please do not take our signs.
Yeah.
Leave them alone. If you're out there doing lawns, please put them back.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're in the wrong or we're in the right of way, then the marshals are the only ones that are really allowed to touch those
That's right.
signs.
Code enforcement will take care of that.
Yeah, and so we're held at a pretty high standard
Yeah,
too.
that is. Yeah.
So please, those things cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Do not take our signs, and if you see somebody taking them, please notify the law enforcement, because we need their license number and the vehicle.
That's right. And that's not just John Gates signs. That's anybody's signs.
I don't care if my opponent's sign,
Yeah.
any of them.
That's right.
Don't touch our signs, and I think my opponent will also
Sure.
echo that.
Yeah.
We're out here trying to get elected, and that's one of the ways. It's coming on radio station, in a newspaper, on TV, and going door to door. We need your help to stop people stealing signs. If it don't belong to you, keep your hands off of it.
I mean, that's just basic common courtesy.
That's what I was taught when I was a kid.
That's right.
If it ain't yours, don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Exactly right. So whatever it is.
And I got sore hands to prove it.
That's right. We all do.
Yeah, my dad, mom both. Boy, I tell you.
I never heard that. That's right. That gets the message across. John Gates joining us this morning again. He is a candidate for County Commission Super District 4 in the upcoming November the 6th general election. John, always good to see you.
Great.
I'll tell you what, we'll after we get done with this whole election, maybe in November, we'll get you back on to make a final push for Toys for Tots, because that's
Great.
going to go on through December the 13th as far as collection.
Right, for collection. And, of course, I take toys all year.
Right.
So if you're going to have birthday parties in the summer and that, please add Toys for Tots. It really helps. One small box of toys can make a difference in a child's life on Christmas, many kids' lives. If I get 10 toys, believe it or not, but that's 10 kids.
That's right.
Going to have Christmas that may not have had Christmas.
And I was going to say that's sometimes that seems foreign to think that a child wouldn't get anything for Christmas, but that's absolutely what could happen and what does happen too often. So we want to do everything we can to make sure it doesn't happen here. So we'll get you back on in November and make us a big final push.
Great. I sure appreciate it. The only thing I will say, wrapping this up,
Yeah.
the only way that your candidate will win is if you go to the polls. You got to go to the polls to get your candidate in. Sitting back saying, gee, I hope he wins, I hope he wins. I cannot win, nor any other candidate cannot win unless you go to the polls. Please vote.
Registration ends October the 9th. Go ahead and make sure you do that. And it has nothing to do with you being pulled for jury duty. If I hear that one more time, I'm going to scream. It's your it's your duty as a citizen to get out there and vote. I think registration, if I believe, and I'm sure Deb Cox and the fine folks at the election office will hopefully correct me, but I believe October the 9th is the last day to register, and then early voting will begin here in just a couple of weeks. So I certainly echo John's sentiments. Get out, and we make it awfully easy for you to get out and vote, and a lot of people have died to give you the right to do that, so we hope that you do certainly exercise that. John,
also,
good to see you. Yes,
also, if you need a ride, both parties, the Democratic and the Republican, will have numbers where you can get a ride to the poll.
That's right. So check that out. You can certainly find that online. And, no reason not to vote. Certainly make your voice heard. John, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Chris.